which is situated on the southwest coast of Finland, as you see here, by the Baltic Sea region, by the Baltic Sea, and it's the fifth biggest city with the population around 200,000. Turku is European Capital of Culture this year, and what is very important, the core team, the main team of this European Capital of Culture is bringing together culture and sport, culture and physical activity. And Turku can be very proud of its infrastructure for sport and physical activity. Biking is regular means of transportation for many people, so I also come to work by bike, and it's plenty of great walking routes by the river and so on. Turku is a healthy city. It means that Turku belongs to the WHO Healthy City movement in Europe, and Turku hosts WHO Collaborating Center or Urban Health. And my organization, Baltic Region Healthy Cities Association, is proud to be this WHO Collaborating Center. What it means that Turku is the healthy city? It means that in Turku, health issues are very important when planning the policies, and the core theme of healthy cities right now is health equity and health in all local policies. And what it also means that the Turku also takes into consideration the well-being of all inhabitants. And we believe that health-enhancing physical activity, HEPA, is a means for bringing this well-being to the city inhabitants. Let me now move to the second part of my presentation, which describes the recent demographic change in Finland. As you can see here, this graph shows the increase of the immigrants in Finland within the last 10 years. And this picture is not full because it doesn't show the asylum seekers and those immigrants who already obtained the Finnish citizenship. But what you can still see here, that this increase of immigrants living in Finland is very rapid, and it's growing every year. And it's common for all big cities and economic and cultural centers that they attract most of the immigrants. And on this table, you can see that Turku attracts quite many. The three first cities, they're a metropolitan region, which hosts around 50% of all immigrants in Finland. But Turku is just right after, and they live like whole population of immigrants in Turku, it's around 7%, and they come from around 140 nationalities. And this is higher than Finnish average. Most of the immigrants are young. Are young. So most of them it's between 6 and 12 years old. And most of them they live, unfortunately I don't have here the, yes, I have. So most of them live in 4 districts, which is Runosmäki, Pansio, Varisvuo, and Lausta. In those districts, 30–35% of inhabitants, they are immigrants. And this creates a big challenge for Turku when it comes to the integration of these immigrants. It's also not a surprise that being close in the immigrants' ghetto, it increases the risk of marginalization, and it also doesn't make it easier for the immigrants to get to know Finnish lifestyle and Finnish culture and Finnish language. But still, why I speak about that from the perspective of municipality? Municipalities in Finland are very strong. Finland is quite a decentralized country, and municipalities are responsible for health promotion, and they have a lot of the big role in handling also the immigration issue. Finland is also a very sportive country. As you can see, 93% of boys and 91% of girls, they claim they're physically active, they are involved in sport activities, and more than 60% of women and men are also active. But still, there is, so it's very important for immigrants to, it can be physical activity and sport, it can be used for bringing immigrants to the Finnish lifestyle, and this is very, very important part of Finnish culture. And Minister of Sport and Culture of Finland said that there is a lot of challenge when it comes to the creating the identity of this so-called second generation of Finns, which means the young people who were already born in Finland, but they come from the immigrant families, and that he claims, Paavo Arhinmäki claims that it's important, it's possible to use sport in creating this multi-identities in Finland and also to bring immigrants closer to the Finnish society. I'm sorry. Because I think that I should be faster. And this Finnish perspective, it's also in line with the European perspective, with the perspective of European Union. Sport is nowadays very high on the agenda of European Commission, and in 2007 European Commission published a white paper on sport, where those issues of integration and social networking and the potential of sport is very much highlighted. And according to the recent Eurobarometer survey among the European society, over 75% of European people think that sport has very, very big potential in integration, in tackling marginalization, in tackling intolerance and discrimination. And the universal language of sport, this title of this part of the presentation, this is something that the Finnish MP said that this that the sport is a universal language. It doesn't require speaking together, but it brings people from different communities and societies together.
She's pinching you.
So Finland is also discovering or highlighting this potential of sport in its policy making recently, and there is the vision of Finland that in 2020 Finland is a society in which immigrants have equal opportunity to participate in sportive life and experience sense of community through sport. The sense of community is very, very important. And in 2010, the program for integrating immigrants to sport was introduced, and this program puts attention to raising operational funding for sport clubs that organize the activities for immigrants, also to develop methods for systematic information production for the immigrants. What is very important, developing the indicators for measuring this issue. Because nowadays we have a lot of practice in many European cities, but not that much academical background for it. We know that sport can contribute to the social cohesion, social integration, but we still lack some indicators and some academical. It's also very hard to measure these issues, and we need a lot of time. But what is important, again, in this program is the role of the municipalities should be strengthened. And it should be strengthened by cross-sectoral work in the municipalities, but involvement of immigrants in sport policy making, and for example by participation in production of sport services. So it highlights that the organization of immigrants should cooperate together with sport clubs, with the municipality, with the social department to create these activities together. And it was said in 2010, but now I will come to the example of Turku. And Turku started to develop this cross-sectoral work for involving immigrants in sport activities already in 2005. And there is a lot of different activities prepared for immigrants. Some are for immigrants only, but most of those activities, they focus on bringing immigrants to the sport activities attended by the general native population, because this is important to bring them together with the Finnish people, to make them speaking Finnish and make them playing together, but also it's important for Finnish people to get to know those immigrants and learn that they're people as other. And what is also very important, it was well known that the immigrants are in general less physically active than the general population, but they still share the same health concerns. So it's also important to make them more active and to make them healthier. And this screen is from the brochure that City of Turku published. It's only in Finnish, and I was told by the sport department that this is important for them to make it in Finnish, to also make the immigrants learning Finnish, to motivate them to learn Finnish. And this Monta Laia, Monta Kulturia slogan, it means many different sport disciplines, many different cultures. And this brochure describes different sport activities for immigrants, for girls and boys, for women and men, for young and old, that can be found in Turku, can be attended by the immigrants. And what is important, most of them are free of charge for the immigrants. And those activities, they are organized in cooperation with around 40 association of immigrants in Turku, and they respond to the religious and cultural prerequisites. For example, there are separate classes on swimming for girls and separate classes on swimming for boys. There are, as I said, most of them are free of charge, or the charge is very, very little, are attractive and don't require some special skills, promote health, tolerance and multicultural dialogue. Special attention is given to this underprivileged area, so a lot of activities is done in those 4 districts I was speaking about before. And as I said, they are not organized by the municipality or sport department only. They are organized with a big cooperation, and this beautiful picture shows how the physical activity is organized and how it's planned in Turku. And now, this is connected also with the principles of Turku being a healthy city. That cross-sectoral work is the core principle for Turku. Working together with the sport department, social department, health department, educational department, with the NGOs, and then finally with the citizens of Turku. They are in the core, and they are consulted by organizing the activities, and they are consulted, but they also can present some ideas. And when it comes to some examples, what is organized, one very popular activity is the Power Action. It started in 2002, and this is the after-school physical activity for youth. And it's not for immigrants only, this is for youth, it means for general youth, but it's very popular also among immigrants, and it's for free, and it's very attractive. There are different disciplines, very attractive from my point of view, which can be attended, and there are weekly shifts organized in the district. And this is organized by the municipality in cooperation with the sport clubs. Sport clubs are paid by the municipality for organizing it. There are also bicycle classes for beginners, because this is very, as I said, in Turku, you can move easy by bike, and biking in Finland is very popular. So it's good for immigrants to learn how to bike. There's also mushroom picking trips organized. And the multicultural football tournament is organized every year, and it's attended by the groups participate. Some of them are only national, for example, Kurdish team. some are Finnish team, but most of them are mixed, and this is for young people from primary and secondary schools. And I have here this picture doesn't show that many immigrants actually being in the playing for FC Inter Juniors, but a small Finnish boy from Turku said that this sport experience and playing with different kids from Vietnam, Thailand, or of Kurdish background helped him to understand that the guys are just cool, nice guys. They have nice personalities, and their background is not important. And what I didn't tackle here in this presentation is those risks of using the sport for promoting of social inclusion, because we know that sport also creates a lot of passion and emotion, and actually can even heat up this national sentiments, and can also strengthen some stereotypes. So what is also said and suggested is not to stress the country of origin of the people playing together, because that can just create more stereotypes. And thank you very much for your attention. I have also here a book from Turku. I have just 2 copies, and in this book the promoting health by means of physical activity in Turku is presented. Yeah. Thank you very much.